Hello, everybody. Welcome to the new podcast, and this is called Cape Time. We have a lot to talk about. I'm real excited. The inner nerd in me is ready. Oh, I'm so pumped. Tom, how are you feeling right now?
Well, I we got some news yesterday that was really fun, but we'll get into that later. I'm well. The state of the world is not well. Uh, but yeah, we're very excited to start this. This is kind of a passion for both of us. We both love comic books. For those that are listening to us for the first time, we have another podcast dedicated to baseball and the Yankees, yada yada yada. And yeah, I'm just really excited to get this going because this is just fun. It's very therapeutic for me. I love talking about comic books and all that.
No, I totally feel, man. Not enough of my friends are really into it, honestly. I mean, they'll talk to me about it, and some of them are, they'll have their moments, but like I'll text them, for example, yesterday about the Electro news. I'm freaking texting them, guys, holy fuck, you're not gonna believe this. Oh my god! And I tell them, they're like, oh, I thought I expected bigger. I'm like, bigger? What did you expect? I'm like, dude,
I've got
this is
I've got the
huge.
same issue. I've got the same issue over here.
It hurts me because this is such huge
I was
news,
I was
dude.
I was flipping out. I told you the story yesterday when I saw the Electro news, when I saw the Jamie Foxx Electro news. I read it. I skimmed the tweet that by Boris Kitt, who is the reporter. He works for the Hollywood Reporter. He's the guy that broke the news. I skimmed this tweet wrong, and it said Andrew Garfield villain. Those were the words that I saw. Andrew Garfield villain Spider-Man 3. And I'm like, whoa, is Andrew playing the villain in Spider-Man 3? And then I was freaking out to my friend Larry, who will probably have on the podcast at a later date. And I'm like, Larry, Andrew's coming back. Andrew's coming back as as the villain. And then I read it again. I'm like, fuck. Jamie's back. Jamie's back. I'm like, well, that's still cool. That's still cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, fine. I had to apologize to Larry. I'm like, sorry, guy. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, that was a really cool moment. I was like, what? This came out of nowhere. I think we should just start with the Jamie Foxx news. I mean,
Yeah, there's no
this
better
has
place to
such
start.
major implications for what Sony and Marvel are doing, or we assume they're doing. It's like, because nobody expected this. Nobody. How could you have expected something like this?
Honestly, it's pretty freaking nuts. Like we've been talking about for a while. We always believed eventually they were going to push a live action Spider-Verse. I've always believed it because it just makes so much freaking sense. Too much sense not to do it. But with that said, did I expect them to bring back a villain from the Amazing Spider-Man series and drop him into the MCU like this? No, I don't think anyone could have freaking guessed that. If anything, I would have guessed it would have came anything relating to Spider-Verse in the MCU would have came after Doctor Strange, but now, I mean, this changes everything, and I have so many questions, so many thoughts about this because, originally, Doctor Strange is going to come before Spider-Man 3, correct?
Correct,
So, and,
correct.
and I was thinking, with that in mind, did Kevin Feige do a shift on the story here? I feel like he had to because it
Actually,
kind
I think Strange 2 was always after Spider-Man 3. Uh, but yeah, I think WandaVision actually is going to be the
well, yeah,
catalyst for this storyline. If they are going to bring back Jamie Foxx as the very same Electro, the very same version that we
which I
saw.
think they will.
Yeah. Now obviously it's very possible that it could be a brand new version just played by the same actor, just like they did with J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. But let's operate, because this is fun, under the assumption that Jamie is playing the same version that we saw in the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
I think WandaVision, maybe Wanda breaks the multiverse and shit hits the fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to agree with that because even Jeremy Conrad, the founder of DCEU Mythic and MCU Cosmic, he was saying, based on what he's heard, all the rumors suggest that this is the original Electro. This is the one from the Amazing Spider-Man series. And he kept putting out some tweets, and he was saying, essentially, it's going to be a type of setting where in 2020, Wanda messes up the multiverse in terms of when the movies come out. December 17th, 2021, Spidey deals with the fallout from that. And then March 25th, 2022, Doctor Strange 2 releases, and that's when they bring in the big guns to fix it. And you know what?
Yo.
That makes a lot of freaking sense. And I was
I
thinking...
have an idea, man.
Yeah,
I have an idea. Spider-Man Shattered Dimension is going to be the title. Well, it's sort of like the concept. Because it said in the Hollywood Reporter article that it's a melding of the previous franchise.
Exactly.
So maybe Wanda messes the universe up so much that shit from all the previous versions melds into one. And it's in the Spider-Verse movie is about fixing it and getting everything back into place.
Mm-hmm. I definitely could see that. And, honestly, I keep thinking about it. I just don't see how this would be a different Electro. I just think with everything they've built up towards it, all the dots connecting the way they are, I just would think it would be such a missed opportunity to not have this be that same Electro, because you're doing everything relating to the multiverse right now in the MCU with the way things are heading. And are you really going to not take advantage of that with all the Spider-Verse stuff that Sony's been building up? I think it makes it, again, this is a case of it makes too much sense not to happen. So I fully expect it to happen.
Exactly. This is some crazy stuff, man. I can't believe this is happening. Like that came out of like the furthest depths of nowhere. If you gave me 100 guesses, Jamie Foxx coming back as Electro would not be one of the 100.
No.
I've heard Keanu Reeves is Craven rumors too, because it seems like they're doing Craven as well in this movie. Like Electro's not going to be, just the only villain here.
Definitely not.
Maybe you know what? Maybe Spider-Man 3 is the Sinister Six. Maybe it is.
I just can't see it though, because my only issue with that is Kevin Feige is the kind of guy who really likes to build things up and take it slow. He's not going to rush anything. I feel like if you go to Sinister Six and Spider-Man 3, it's going to feel quite a bit rushed. And keep in mind, this movie is about our Peter Parker. This movie revolves around him. I feel like if you have too much of a multiverse plot going on and all these different characters coming in from different places, it's not going to be about him as much in that movie. It needs to be a Peter-centric story, and I think that's where it's heading. So with that in mind, my guess would be this is going to be more setup for that Sinister Six, and then the next appearance he makes in the Spider-Man movie absolutely will be Sinister Six. I think.
Yeah, that's how I would do it.
Yeah, I think that's the way they have to do it if they really want to do this organically and not rush any of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are one movie too soon from Sinister Six. We just need one more to introduce just the last few members of Sinister Six, and hopefully we get like a Norman Osborn type, like kind of leader of the team. So, because it feels like, yeah, it kind of feels a little bit leaderless right now. I think maybe you bring back Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, and maybe he can put it together. But I don't, I think Scorpion was the guy that kind of created the idea of Sinister Six. In Homecoming, he goes, "We're putting a team together. Your friends on the outside, putting a team together." And really, I don't really want Scorpion to be like the leader of the Sinister Six. I mean, he seems like kind of out of the six, he's like the four. He's like fourth or fifth there. So I'm like, we're gonna need like an Ock or a doctor. I mean, or a Norman Osborn to do it.
Exactly, and that leads to the question: who will this Sinister Six consist of? Because with the whole idea of the multiverse possibly opening up here between the Sony universe and the Disney universe, you gotta wonder: my gut tells me they don't, and I really don't think they do. But I mean, would they consider reaching into the Raimi universe for a villain?
You know what I would do?
I could see it.
I know what to do.
Oh,
If
man.
you're gonna reach in to do a Raimi villain, bring back Bruce Campbell. Campbell
Nah.
as Mysterio. Bring him in. Bring him in. Say Gyllenhaal's really Mysterio is really dead. Bring in Bruce Campbell.
No shot.
Bring him in, baby. Yeah. Or you. I mean, you can bring in the guy who played Sandman as well. He was fantastic. He was one of the best things about Spider-Man 3, to be honest. Yeah. And he lived. He's one of the rare Raimi villains that actually lived.
Mm-hmm. And for the record, we are going to have a full talk about Spider-Man 3 at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Not today, but it's going to happen.
Oh, shit. My alarm went off. What the hell? Why did I have an alarm there? Wow. I'm an idiot, but whatever. Yeah, we're just going to have a whole retrospective on the Raimi era, because, totally. Those movies just mean the world to both of us. I'm so happy, man. I can't believe it's just like, you're getting a Sinister Six movie, you're probably getting a Spider-Verse movie, and you're also probably getting Venom versus Spider-Man as well. And, as well as Morbius coming out, which seems to be kind of almost like Sinister Six set up a little bit.
Definitely Sinister Six setup, I would say. I mean, if you have Vulture in that movie, which we already know he is, that's got to be connected to a Sinister Six build-up. I don't see how it can't be. And there were already plot rumors going back to a while ago about them discussing the Sinister Six in that movie. So I'm not sure if they were true, but I do believe that
they weren't. But I think that's actually kind of what's gonna happen.
Exactly. I do think that happened.
Like, I know the person that made it up. Like the Reddit post, I know the person, because that person outed themselves on Twitter. But I do think that's actually what's gonna happen. You're gonna have Vulture in the same prison. And what do you think they're gonna talk about? Fucking
exactly
coffee. They're gonna bond over coffee here? No. What, you see that? You see that spider guy? He murdered a superhero. You want to go get him? Redeem ourselves? Something like that. You know who they should bring back, though? They should bring back the guy with the hat from the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. Maybe have them bring them all together. Remember the mysterious guy that nobody knew who he was? From Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Did you hear what I said?
No.
They should bring back to bring the team together, they should bring back the guy with the hat from the Amazing Spider-Man franchise.
Oh, I was thinking that too. I actually did think of that too.
Motherfucker was playing the long game the entire time.
Imagine they actually did that. That would be hilarious. Oh,
dude, what the hell, man?
I gotta say though, this all makes me wonder. Let's say we're in a world where Kevin Feige had full creative control over the Amazing Spider-Man series. It probably would have been so freaking good. He probably would have been able to make such a good trilogy out of that with the Sinister Six, honestly. Like, his notes on the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I read the notes.
All would have made the movie so much better. But how many of those notes did they actually take? I think, like, almost none, if any. It's crazy.
I want to see Kevin do a Spider-Man film with those notes in mind, really. Like, just a more adult kind of college age Spider-Man, like what he was referring to about, I don't want to make this sound like I'm shitting on, the first two, because I love the first two MCU Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Well, I just mean like a kind of more serious, a little bit more serious, just a little bit.
No, I know exactly what you mean, because
a more traditional kind of Spider-Man.
I mean, because we're in a spot right now where, this Spider-Man he was in high school. I mean, the first movie was almost like, although you had, some good elements to it aside from this, it felt like a Disney high school comedy mixed with a Spider-Man / Marvel universe. And it was like, it worked. It didn't make
it worked perfectly.
It did. It worked for what the movie needed to be, but, at the same time, I was like, I miss the epicness of the old Spider-Man movies so freaking much.
You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing better than when Doc Ock hits Tobey Maguire off the
Oh,
train, and then he slides, he spins the web, and it
dude.
hits the building, and then he propels himself up, and then he launches himself off the building,
Like, we don't
and
have that.
with the music absolutely blasting, dun, no, 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 and it's just like, what the hell am I watching
And
here?
even in like Far From Home, did they take a big step forward? I think yes. I think that was a really solid step forward in terms of the action and
Oh, for
the
sure.
the drama and the seriousness of the situation. But with that said, it still hasn't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to that point where we're all going, "Holy fuck!" And I think
That's Spider-Man right there.
exactly, we're not there yet, but I think we are gonna get there. I might even be this next movie. I mean, that's what I'm so excited about because
Yeah.
if you have Electro coming in from another universe, you have what's it called? Hopefully Craven the Hunter coming in. Let's say this is
Yep.
played by freaking
That's
huge,
Ki-
intimidating dude. That's it's gonna be a lot of his hands are gonna be full.
Oh my god. I've been hearing Craven rumors for as long as I've been alive here.
I know.
All right, for ever since Spider-Man 3 was announced again. Again.
Oh, Craven, Craven, Craven.
Yeah, it's been Craven. That's been the big rumor for just forever. It's gonna happen. Craven's in this
I
movie.
agree.
It's like the worst kept secret out of all of them right now. He's in the movie somehow, some way. He's coming to hunt Spider-Man. That which is just a cool idea. Let's be honest here. Spider-Man's identity revealed, and you got Craven the Hunter coming to New York to try to take him down. And imagine if he's played by John Wick himself, Keanu Reeves. Oh my God.
God.
And then you got potentially Scorpion might be in it as well.
I mean, there's a lot of villains they can play with, and I would, if I had to guess right now, honestly, with Electro, I think his role is going to be. I'm not saying it to be small, but a lot smaller than certain people are anticipating. Because I think this is more going to be the build up for what he is going to be in the Sinister Six, and more introducing that okay, the multiverse is broken, it's here, the issues are here in the Spider-Man movie, and we're seeing them. And that's just going to set things up for Sony to do their thing with Marvel moving forward more because again, people don't understand how big of a move this is. Even if this isn't the same version of Electro, it's very significant regardless that they're working together like this to make this kind of move. Like it's so huge.
Dude, come on, man. This is just ridiculous. If you told me like when Spider-Man was announced to be coming into the MCU that this is in the cards here, that Spider-Verse and Sinister Six and Venom crossovers and all that stuff was in the cards,
Nah.
and we're just getting like a full-on Spider-Man universe within the MCU, I would smack you in the face and call you an idiot. I'd be like, no way this is happening. And it's happening. It's like it's here, man. It's just very obvious. Kevin Feige literally said it in the statement when they announced Spider-Man was back at the MCU that he's going to cross cinematic universes, meaning hey, he's going to be in Venom. He's going to be in he might be in Morbius for a quick little cameo or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Spider-Man was literally in the trailer of Morbius.
Honestly, I think this Spider-Verse they're building is going to be the biggest moneymaker Marvel has outside of the big Avengers type of event. And I easily believe that because this is such a huge universe and now that you're potentially connecting the old movies, do you know how much you're going to hit fan bases of every freaking age? The nostalgia there is it travels far and wide, dude. I mean, think about this. The first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie we're almost heading on 20 years since it came out.
Oh
20.
my God.
2002.
I was just about to turn 2. Few months before my second birthday.
Like, think about that. We're not that far off. I mean, it's soon enough. It's going to be 2021 in a few months.
Oh.
And then, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they kept the big Toby surprise for 2022 on the 20-year anniversary.
I've got this idea in my head that the after credits scene is just you see like the Captain America shot where he wakes up in the present day, and instead of it being with Chris Evans as Captain America, it's with like Toby and Andrew just like walking, and they're like, "Where the hell are we right now?" And you see on the the screens like
You see Tom Holland Spider-Man?
yeah, Tom Holland
Oh.
Spider-Man's still a fugitive, something like that, presumed dead, something like that. Maybe he gets lost in the multiverse or something. And it's just like, what the that would just be like, I would cry in the theater.
Dude, again, this is gonna be, if they do a live action Spider-Verse movie, this will be the biggest moneymaker they may ever have outside of Endgame. Honestly, I think it's that big.
It
Could
breaks it.
I mean,
I
does
think
it
it breaks
break it? I think it honestly
Think about it.
could.
Think about it. Think about it. Think about it like this. I'm gonna tell you exactly why it will break it. So, one, you got the Tom Holland money is make a bunch of money because everyone likes him. Everyone likes the Tom Holland movies.
Far From Home made $1 billion.
First Spider-Man movie to ever make $1 billion. All right. So then you got the Tom Holland stans. Then you got the Andrew Garfield fans and the Andrew Garfield stans and fans of that franchise. Then you've got the Tobey Maguire movies are 20.
Following.
20. Everyone I know loves those movies. Even the non-comic book fans. Everyone knows them. Those are just iconic. Those are some of the most. The first two specifically are two of the most iconic movies in just history. It's not hyperbole. They are just. Everyone loves them. They're getting memed to shit right now. They get everyone loves those movies. If you're bringing Toby and that universe back, if you brought it back on its own, it would make it over $1 billion. You're including the other two iconic franchises with Toby? Dude, that might make $3 billion.
Honestly, I think you're right. I mean, dude, there's so much going for it right now, and you got to keep in mind too. Let's say they build it up in a way too where.
And that cast too. That cast.
I know.
I mean, come on, man. You might have like. You might have like Jake Gyllenhaal in it. You might have Michael Keaton in it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get at.
Like, what the fuck?
Like if they do Sinister Six, let's say, versus those three Spider-Man. Oh my God! You are talking easily at that point the biggest moneymaker of all time. It will be such a huge movie, and it would blow Endgame out of the water. I think it really would. It's that huge. Like, and I feel crazy just saying that, but I'm not wrong, I don't think. And actually, I have a small little tidbit for you. I haven't even told you this yet. I was going to tell you yesterday, but I think you were asleep or something.
I'm usually asleep.
Yeah, this is a good one. All right.
Oh, say it.
So yesterday, I joined Brandon Davis's Zoom call. Yeah, he said something a little interesting.
Yes.
So Spider-Man came up in all the Electro news. And
yes.
Someone in the chat asked, have you heard any little tidbits? Is there anything going on that you haven't said yet? And he said, from everything I know, I have reason to believe Tobey Maguire will return. I swear to God, those were his exact words. Is he basing that on a source? Or is he basing it on a hunch? I don't know. He didn't get the specify, but he made it sound like it's from just a source, though. That's the vibe I was getting from him.
Let me ask you this: when has Sony ever said no? I don't want that money.
Exactly. I mean, they do everything with money in mind, which has been their
which
issue.
is their detriment. It's been their money obsession is a detriment usually. I mean, so I'm a big believer of where there's smoke, there's usually fire.
Me too.
There's a lot of smoke here. There's just so much smoke. There's a lot of smoke. It's like freaking, it's like Snoop Dogg's house in here. I'm a funny guy sometimes. All right, but yeah, I mean, it's happening. It's like John Constantine's house. Big time smoker. All right, dude.
Anyway,
yeah.
It is coming, though. I really do think it's coming. We're gonna get it. It's only a matter of when. And I think that Spider-Man 3 is definitely going to be that movie. Again, I think it's not going to be Sinister Six. I think it will set everything up. But Spider-Man 4, though, absolutely by then we will get Sinister Six. And another thing I wanted to touch on, actually, I'm interested to see what they do with all the other Sony Spider-Verse movies they're working on. Like they got Spider-Woman. I think they're working on a Man and Web movie, and they already have directors, so like they're not too far out from development probably. If you keep that in mind, I mean, makes you wonder.
Yeah, they also have a Craven movie in development as well. They just hired a director.
And that's the big reason why I don't think that Keanu Reeves would even consider being Craven, honestly, because that's too much commitment when he already has to worry about all the John Wick stuff. Because he would have to be, let's say, potentially in Spider-Man 3, a
Hmm.
Craven solo movie, and then a potential Sinister Six movie. Those are three huge movies he'd have to be able to over the course of a couple years, and that's a bit much for him given his schedule. So I don't think that casting worked out, unfortunately. Although I think he'd be great in the role, but I'm sure Marvel will find someone great. They rarely ever mess up a casting, honestly. But let's keep it real
Yeah,
there.
they'll be all right. They'll be all right.
They'll be fine.
I think the guy that played Deathstroke in the Justice League movie would do a good job.
I can see that
actually. Since he didn't get to play Deathstroke. Usually when someone's casting in a comic book movie doesn't work out, they usually get a better job on the other side. Like Ryan Reynolds was Green Lantern, obviously. Then he ended up getting to do his Deadpool movie.
Deadpool, baby.
Yeah, it was like, hey, he kind of worked out here. Ben Affleck didn't work out as Daredevil. Hey, come play Batman. Chris Evans didn't play Human Torch. He was great in that movie. And then, hey, he's Captain America.
Here's another thing too. This also makes you wonder. Now that Disney is being as bold as possible with this potential move, going into the multiverse and reaching into the Sony movie universe, what is stopping them from bringing back the Netflix characters, and what is stopping them from really mixing other characters like Deadpool into the mix a little more than they might have anticipated? Why not? Why can't they?
I mean, if you're gonna go through all the trouble to bring Jamie Foxx back,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
why can't Charlie Cox come back? Why can't like you should just say, hey, the Netflix continuity is an alternate continuity set in like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. universe, something like that. Now, some of the stuff that you saw in those shows is canon. Some of it isn't. So you can throw out what you want to throw out. You can keep what you want to keep. You can keep the actors that you want to keep, and you can recast who you want to recast. If you don't want, the guy playing Iron Fist to do Iron Fist anymore, cool. Get rid of him. Bang. You recast.
The only people I need to stay the same, as you know, I need Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I really don't think that
you can't get any better.
I don't think you can get any better than him. I think that's so important. And aside from him, John Bernthal as the Punisher, because I think, dude, he is the Punisher. Like he owns that role in a way I never could have even guessed. I love John Bernthal. I loved him back when I was watching The Walking Dead. He is very good in that show. He's been good in a lot of other stuff too, whether it be Wolf of Wall Street or a couple other.
I think he would have been a really cool Craven if he did.
Yes.
I think he could have pulled Craven off. Which is funny because his name is Craven Off.
Honestly, if they didn't want to bring him back as Punisher, which I hope they do, why not bring him in as Craven? Because he'd be perfect, honestly.
Did I just crack the code here?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, because it depends. Because even when I was on that Zoom call with Brandon Davies yesterday, he was saying that he thinks just the vibe he's gotten also is Kevin Feige might not want to work with characters he had nothing to do with. And that's an issue.
That's the thing. That's the thing. He had nothing to do with Jamie Foxx's Electro, though.
But the thing is, though, you got to keep in mind, he did really, really love his performance, and he also had he knows Sony well enough where he knows they're buddy. He was not friends with Loeb at all. Like the relationship there is a little different, I would say.
I think I would watch. If I were Kevin, I would at least just consider it. Can we just at least consider it?
I think you have to consider it. Just
consider it. That's all I ask. I understand. Just consider it, please.
I mean, let's say we decided to go do a Daredevil movie with Charlie Cox. You know how much money that would freaking...
I just got giddy.
And aside from how much money it would make, it would
wouldn't
not
cost
much to make. Like, that's not a big budget movie at all. I mean, if anything, the awesome thing is you can, give whatever
guaranteed profit
you need for it. Like, you can give it more than the Netflix shows gave it, and you can take it a step above. But
Oof.
even that step above is not going to be that expensive at all. I mean, you're talking about a major profit, especially
It's
after
free profit, man.
when did season 3 come out? That was
2018.
2018. Okay, so you probably wouldn't see a Daredevil movie for a couple years if they ever even happened.
2023.
Okay, well, so let's say that's the case. After 5 years of not seeing Daredevil, I think everybody is going to be giddy. They're going to be going nuts. They're going to be marching through the streets to get into those theaters because they want to see that character come back. Like the fan base for Charlie Cox's Daredevil is so huge. Like it's not a small thing. It's very big at this point.
Yeah, I think that's why I asked Kevin Feige to at least consider it. Just because, like, there are so many diehards of that show. You don't even have to keep the canon or anything. You just say, hey, some of what happened is in canon. Some of of it is just alternate universe shit. All right, so you just keep what you want to keep. Get rid of what you want to get rid of. This is a multiverse, baby. Let's get nuts. Let's get nuts here. I mean, we love Charlie Cox as Daredevil. We love D'Onofrio as Kingpin. That is just, you're not getting better casting than that. You know, say what you want about Jeff Loeb. I mean, by all accounts, he seems like a total shitbag.
Agreed.
Right? But like, I think you just kind of be like a little, you kind of screw Jeff Loeb over. You're like, hey, you see all this crappy stuff you did? Bye, in the trash. You see all the good stuff? I'm about to take some credit for that. I'm going to take Charlie over here. I'm going to take Vincent over here. I'm going to take John over here. All the cast members that everyone loves. And I'm going to put them in better material than even you did. Even though you can't really get much better than Daredevil.
You know what? That would be quite the slap to the face, and I can easily see that happening. And I hope it does happen because, again, I genuinely can't imagine anyone else playing in these roles. I just don't think they're going to match.
Specifically Daredevil for me. Specifically Charlie. Just because, like, he's got, like, with Charlie Cox, it's like, I want to break down his performance a little bit. It's just like,
how does he pull off a blind man so well?
Well, it's not just that. He's got, like, this voice. He's got, like, this voice where it's like, when I'm reading a Daredevil comic, it's like his voice is like, that's the voice that kind of I hear, because it's like very smooth. He's got kind of like this like really cool thing going on, and it's just like, I have a man crush on that man's voice. I want that guy's voice. He's just perfect. He's just perfect casting. He was the best casting, that you could ever imagine to play Daredevil.
Absolutely. And when you get to, and I was just watching maybe it was, I'm guessing last week, I was watching the season 3 finale just because I got a new soundbar in my basement, and I was like, you know what, I need to watch something really big and extravagant. I was like, what am I gonna watch? I'm like, you know what, let's watch that season finale because I haven't seen it in a while now. And I was just watching it, and I was like, holy shit, he is so freaking good. That final scene where he's just fighting Kingpin. And he does that primal scream, and he starts saying, "I beat you."
Should have won an Emmy.
Dude, it's so freaking good. I got chills watching that. It's easy to forget how amazing he is when you haven't seen him in a while. But I just watched it, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, this is an otherworldly performance.
Do you know how good of an actor you have to be to go toe-to-toe with Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin?
I mean, he's great too, and he outshined him.
He carries that fucking show. D'Onofrio's in it a good amount, but he kind of, it's like fun when he shows up because his presence is felt, but he's not in it as much as you honestly think.
Mm-hmm.
But like Charlie is in basically every scene, and he has to nail every scene and carry that show on his back, specifically season 1 and 3. Like, he carries that shit. No prisoners taken. He's like, I'm fucking Daredevil here. He is the man. I miss him a lot.
Well, let's hope that he'll be back soon enough, and who knows, maybe when Spider-Man needs a lawyer, he'll come into play.
Please, come on, just bring.
They get the rights back for him at the end of the year, right? For Daredevil.
November.
Yeah, it's gotta be soon. It's definitely within the next couple months.
Marvel said that in the press release when they announced the cancellation of Daredevil that this wasn't the end of the road, yada yada yada. They had plans for Daredevil. I want to see the plans. I want to see it. I just want to. I think what I really need, honestly, if I can be completely honest with you, Luke, I
Yes.
think what I need is I just need an answer.
No, I feel the exact same way. I
It's
just
like
need to know.
like if you're gonna recast, if you're just please do it quickly. Just get I don't like the slow knife thing here. All right. Don't.
Are they even allowed to like say anything about recasting right now? I feel like they can't.
Not yet. Not yet.
That's the thing.
Once
Yeah.
November hits, that's what I mean. Like, just
Yes.
don't hesitate. Like, if I'm Kevin Feige, and once they say, okay, you can officially start talking about Daredevil now, just please don't pull. Just shoot me in the head instead of stabbing me. Shoot me in the head.
No,
That's all I
I
ask.
totally agree. Just get it over with. Say what they plan on doing, or at least discuss with Charlie Cox. Talk to him. Figure out what the hell the plan is. If
He
they
loves
want
Daredevil,
to bring
man.
him back, of course.
Charlie loves Daredevil. He's one of the best. He's one of the best people you could ever
Oh,
ask for
he's
to
such
play.
a good dude. Such a good dude.
I think that's one of the big things that like
Kevin Feige
people.
would love about bringing him
Yeah,
on.
he's just a great ambassador for it as well.
Exactly.
He's just, Marvel. Unfortunately, there are some people in Marvel that have been caught up in some controversy. We know what Jeremy Renner stuff. Wouldn't it be great to have a guy who's like unequivocally just like the nicest guy in the world?
Hey, it makes the life of Kevin Feige a hell of a lot easier. So I'm sure he would have no problems with that. But that side of things, he'd be a blessing for him.
He's
But
just a very pleasant person, Charlie.
he is, and I really think that all. I don't think they're gonna bring all the Netflix characters back, but I think they would all be interested in coming back, though. I really don't think any of them would be like no if they got asked.
Oh
I
yeah.
really don't. I think they're not that busy, honestly. They're not doing a shit ton of stuff.
Actually, the Luke Cage actor is pretty busy.
Oh, is he?
He's got his own show going on, but I think
for
he'd
him.
be able to. If they wanted to make a Luke Cage movie, he'd be available.
Oh, I'm sure he'd find a way. I mean,
Yeah,
scheduling. Everyone
works out.
wants to be part of the MCU almost. There are not many actors that are like, no, I don't want to be part of that shit. Because the thing is, when you're part of the MCU, you pretty much have a job guaranteed for years if it's in an actual hero role.
Yeah.
You're gonna be employed for quite a while, and that's what everyone wants in this kind of business.
Those actors turn down roles. Those actors turn down other roles because they felt security from being with Marvel.
Of course, no. Like, look at Robert Downey Jr. His Iron Man, dude. He had a role for 11 years. That is crazy. I mean, being able to be in a role for that long, continuous movies. I can't even imagine how much money he made from that. And that was the only kind of job security.
He made like $25 million from being in Homecoming for like 10 minutes.
Exactly. Like, dude. Like, come on. Anyone that says no to Marvel, the only reason why I can possibly imagine them saying no is pretty much because they don't want to be handcuffed to a role for a long time because there's other stuff they want to explore. And if that's the reason, I respect that, of course. I totally get that. But if you're just looking for that job security and you happen to be a Marvel fan, it's a no-brainer for everyone pretty much.
Yeah, for me, I want those actors back. I mean, I want most of them back. If Iron Fist or Luke Cage got recast, or even Jessica Jones, I could be like, fuck it, fine. You recast Daredevil, I'm not talking for a few months. I'm just locking myself in a room. I'm gonna say I don't want to talk about it. I'm gonna shut the door, lock it, and just starve myself.
I fully feel that. Like you said, Luke Cage, if they recast him, I can live with it. And to be clear, I thought he was really good in that role. I liked him a lot. But I don't see
they're all good.
All of them. I just don't see him as irreplaceable, though. And there are not many actors that, in general, that you're going to find in a role where you say, you know what?
That guy you can't replace.
No one could ever play that role in the same kind of way he did. And that's why there's only 2. Maybe 3 if you count D'Onofrio as Kingpin as part of that, but
I do.
Okay, then I would probably put him there too. So that's three characters within that whole Netflix Marvel universe where I'd be like, you know what, no one could play that character the same way. So those three are the priorities in my opinion for not recasting. The rest, sure, go ahead, no issues. I get it. It's tough to bring everyone back. There's a lot that goes into that, and you want to probably mess around with the character in your own way a little bit. And if
Hmm.
anything, you'd be able to do that with the vast majority of those characters outside of just two. And I really don't think there's much that you need to change with Punisher, especially. I mean, he's pretty straightforward in terms of his arc and everything. What are you going to change?
Yeah. Dead family shoots people. Cool.
I mean, like, exactly. Like, how much you're not going to do much
I would
different.
have him be in Blade. I would try to get him in the Blade movie.
I think that's definitely a possibility. And if they do a Midnight Suns type of thing, which I heard they
Yeah.
might, and he'll come in there.
Yeah, Punisher is really interesting because, like, they're owned by Disney. We know that, and it's like, are they willing to go to like kind of the depths that Punisher can go to?
I would
Yeah.
say yes, because Disney's been looking to expand to a more
I want to
mature.
go. I want a mature kind of thing, a mature kind of wing for Marvel's cinematic universe.
You see, I would have to say this. My guess would be, if they decide to expand on Punisher, let's say, and they bring him John Bernthal back, I think it would be in the form of Disney Plus, not his own movie. Just my gut feeling, and I think that they feel more comfortable going to that R rating, let's say, if it's not on the big screen. I feel like they'd be much more comfortable with that in a setting where it's just streaming and they have a specific section for that designated on Disney Plus, which is, again, they plan on doing this. They've already said they do, and they'd put like Deadpool and stuff there if they can get the rights to it and everything, which I think they will. So with that said, my gut guess is they'll take that route with Punisher, maybe even Daredevil, since that's pretty gruesome, of course. I think that they are going to take that darker route because they need it. They really do.
I agree. I mean, it doesn't even have to be an R-rated kind of thing. It could be like you could just push the boundaries of the PG-13.
13. Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
The Dark Knight is one nutty ass movie, and it's PG-13.
Exactly.
Right?
Like if they can do that, PG-13, I think they can manage to make Daredevil, let's say, under that PG-13 rating for sure.
Just no F words. Oh, you're good.
Punisher, that'd be a little tough. That I don't think that one I think you probably need to go R, but that shouldn't be a big deal for just one show. Let's keep it real. That shouldn't be an issue.
Or you just keep the continuity of, or you just keep like kind of the sort of you keep Bernthal, right? And you don't even have to kind of explain the origin, the bloody origin.
No, not at all.
You can just kind of roll with it. You can just say, all right, Punisher's here, cool, bang.
I mean,
Then
I don't think
you don't have to worry.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would want to see that origin again, quite honestly. It was great, of course. It's that you don't want to go through all of that again.
Yeah.
You've been there. It's like with Uncle Ben continuously dying. Like, I'm happy they didn't do that again. We didn't need to see him die for the third time. We really didn't. And the same.
I take great pleasure in it.
Hmm?
I take great pleasure in seeing Uncle Ben getting shot. No, I'm kidding. Oh, you hear it, Luke?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
What do you say? I cut out. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Oh, yeah. I said I take great pleasure in seeing Uncle Ben get shot.
Oh my God, it's honestly pretty funny that they did that again. It really.
Twice.
Come on, we did not need that.
Twice in 10
I'm sorry,
years.
but I'm sorry. What's the name of the actor again? I'm having a total brain fart.
Which actor?
Uncle Ben. Second movie.
Oh, Uncle Ben, Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of his name, but I did not like him as Uncle Ben. Gonna be honest.
Yeah.
He was okay. He was not bad. He was
the first
was
guy,
okay.
Cliff Robertson, the
he
one
was
who
just
played.
so much
He
better.
was just. It was like, oh no. Then you like when you see him die, he's got the tears in his eyes, saying Peter. It's like no.
And you'd see his hand just slip down.
Oh
Peter.
no,
Like,
it's like
I could see it so distinctly in my head. Like if you told me, imagine Uncle Ben's death from Amazing Spider-Man, I can barely remember.
I remember it pretty well.
I remember, but like I don't remember like the dying moments aside from Garfield just doing his screaming thing. So like.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Garfield carries that movie, by the way.
He was very good in that movie, but even so, he was not perfect in that movie. He was a little weird. I mean, Dude,
Characterization is kind of weird.
the first half of the movie, the entire time, he looked like he was on heavy drugs, dude. He just kept looking around everywhere. He had the jacket on. His hair looked all dirty. He keeps like scratching his head a little bit. Like
He looks like someone
looked
that
shot.
wasn't sure of himself at all,
He
which
just
I
looked
think
so
it worked really well.
it looked to me, it just looked like he was a druggie. I'm gonna keep it real. It did not look like a lack of confidence thing to me. He just looked drugged out of his mind. It was just weird for me. But I get
He's
where you're
quirky.
coming from. I get it. But he ain't no Toby.
Now, I mean, I love Toby because he really is like if Steve Ditko kind of drew a person, it would be Tobey Maguire. Drew a live action Peter Parker, it would be
No,
Tobey
you're right.
Maguire.
I don't
Because
think we're
like
ever gonna get a better Peter Parker. At
the
least.
the hair, the like just like the face, kind of like that baby face, kind of just everything about him looked like the 1960s Spider-Man just came to life.
You are absolutely right. The look was just so perfect for that. And honestly, some people would crap on him because he didn't nail the Spider-Man side, but I think he really did great as Spider-Man. I mean, yeah, they'll say,
Yeah, he just
he
didn't talk
he
much.
didn't have enough quips, but it's like, dude, that's not a him issue. That's the writing. That's what they chose to do. And if
It wasn't
anything,
Toby that tried to do it.
yeah, exactly. And I appreciated that, honestly, because they did not take a route where it was just constant quips like the beginning of Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he's just sitting on a
He's
truck.
getting people killed.
Yeah, people are just dying as Rhino's driving, and hey, how you doing, Rhino? Hey, look, my legs are hanging outside your window.
There
What
is
you
a
gonna do, bud?
time and place for the clips.
Like, you got to keep it real, and it has to be grounded and realistic enough. And like, even Amazing Spider-Man 1, people were like, oh, so much better with the quips. But dude, you had one scene that whole movie where he was quippy. One.
You know, I love the high school sequence in Amazing Spider-Man
Oh,
1.
with the lizard.
Somebody's been a bad lizard.
No,
That's
there
that's
were a
just
couple good spots there.
Andrew Garfield. He was great when he was in that mask. When he was under the mask, he was pretty phenomenal. He's like, he goes. So you don't want to talk? Then he webs him up. There you go.
His performance was much more likable, as Spider-Man, at least in the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. He just became a little too much for me.
We got to a place where it was just like it was very wishy-washy. Just with the characterization, really. That's where my main issue is. We'll get into the Amazing Spider-Man franchise.
No, we will. We're gonna have a full review on every single Spider-Man.
We'll even review like the canceled plans.
Oh, for Amazing Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
We're gonna go there.
Yeah, we'll just review like the whole head in the jar thing, or they put Norman Osborn's head in the jar.
Stupid and bizarre, dude. I don't even know why. What were they thinking, dude? What were they thinking?
Like, why? Why wouldn't you just do Norman? Why wouldn't you just say?
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was like, how long was that movie? 2 hours and like 40 minutes, probably.
If I can be honest with you, Luke, I've never seen it the whole way through.
Really?
And I'm gonna tell you, I have seen the full movie, but not in one sitting.
Okay.
I can't get through it. I can't do it.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, the movie is just so painfully long, given the fact that it's not good.
It's just, it doesn't have this like gripping quality that the first two Raimi movies and even like the first Amazing Spider-Man movie had, where it's like, or even Spider-Man 3, where like I can sit down and watch Spider-Man 3 the whole way through. There's like a certain thing that grips you that was really missing from that movie.
Well, because in Spider-Man 3, you had the thing that was so much better about that movie than Amazing Spider-Man 2. The characterization was at least so much better, and the villains, they at least had actual
Motivations,
telling motives. Yes, exactly. Because you go to freaking
that Sandman stuff is perfect.
Dude, that was beautiful. Like Eddie Brock, while I did not like him at all, I did not like Venom being in the movie.
He at least had a clear motivation.
Yes, he had a clear motivation in that movie for being what he was. And same thing with obviously Harry is Goblin. I mean,
yeah. Oh, that was set up. That was set up so well in Spider-Man 2. Remember, he throws the thing through the glass and he
He
discovers
was
the room.
so good.
Oh, man.
It just sucks that they freaking, ruined that whole freaking movie, which I don't want to go into it now because I have so much I want to talk about when it comes to that, but we are definitely going to do an episode on it because I really do want to discuss it right now.
That might have to be our next episode.
Honestly, it might have to be because there's so much that upsets me because there's so much potential in Spider-Man 3. It could have been the absolute best of the trilogy if they did it right, if they played their cards right. But they just couldn't execute, and it makes me so sad to this day.
Yeah, they could have if they just waited like one more movie to include Venom. If Avi Arad could have just held his load, just one more movie, all right, then we could add Venom in Spider-Man 4 or something like that. Instead, he had to throw him in there. It's just, we'll get into it. And I think there's one topic remaining to discuss, and that would be the Spider-Man PS5 new face for Peter Parker. He gets a new face.
I've been thinking about it a lot. At first, I really hated it, and to this day, I still don't like it. But I
don't
think
like it.
that in certain scenes, certain shots rather, it looks better than others. Some shots, it looks absolutely god awful. I hate it. I don't like it at all. The graphics are obviously better from a technical standpoint.
Well, yes, just a technical standpoint.
Of course,
the graphics are phenomenal.
Graphics are obviously much better. There's no denying that. And does his face look more realistic? Yes, because I will say the face, although I had no issues with it in Spider-Man PS4, it did look a little odd, I will say. Although it worked for me. It did work, given what the other character designs were. What I want to see is how do the other characters look with the improved graphics? I want to see how much of a shift there is if it makes him look at least a little bit more natural, because if the other characters don't change much at all in terms of the texture of their look and everything, then I think it gets very weird, and you're looking at what will feel like a 30-year-old MJ getting with a 17-year-old Peter Parker in terms of look.
Yeah, I think the actor and I think the model of Peter Parker, the new one, looks like a early 20s kind of guy, late teens, early 20s kind of.
But it doesn't translate well.
But I just like the other look better. It just
I do too.
There's just a clear kind of thing where it's like, hey, this guy is good, but like I felt like the original, just like I got attached to kind of that look for this universe. I'm like, hey, this is probably a perfect look for an early 20s Peter. So it's just like I don't like it, and it's kind of just so bizarre to see someone with such an uncanny resemblance to Tom Holland. Like it's like
I think that has to be intentional, because keep in mind too, I heard someone else mention this too, and it's a good point. Sony recently bought Insomniac, dude.
Yeah.
Fairly recently. Are you like that? To me, that's a little sus right there. Like, I'm starting to think that they were like, hey, you know what? We have the Insomniac games now, and we're trying to improve the graphics, so why not get someone that looks like Tom Holland just for the sake of making that connection between the two? That'd be really cool, right? Sony getting their little hands all over everything, and it's like, no, dude. No, we don't need this. We already have Tom Holland. We don't need a virtual one.
Yeah, if you wanna have a Tom Holland Spider-Man game, make a Tom Holland Spider-Man game. I mean, we'll buy it for sure. But like, I just feel bad for the original actor too, the original face model.
No, me too.
Yeah, it's like, come on. It's like,
and it makes me wonder because what are they gonna do in the sense of Miles Morales? Like, is he in that game? And if so, did they change
the new guy is in the Miles Morales game.
He is, okay.
Yes, so the new guy is he's Peter Parker going forward, and I'm not a fan personally. I got so used. I've been playing that game for 2 years.
I played it like 2 or 3 times already.
Yeah, you get so used to that character's look, that character's the mannerisms, etc., and now you're telling me I have to play the same game with a different face.
Exactly.
It's gonna look so awkward. It's gonna look like a deep fake the entire time.
The thing with like Arkham, for example, you don't see Bruce Wayne much in that. He's always wearing the suit. So if you
They
change
kept a pretty consistent face too.
exactly, and let's say they had to change the model though, who would really notice? You're not
There
really
wasn't a
gonna.
model. There wasn't a model. They built Bruce Wayne from scratch. There was no
Okay,
Bruce Wayne model.
but even if there was though, let's say hypothetically, it wouldn't
Hmm.
matter really because you. How often do you get to see Bruce Wayne in that entire series? Maybe
Not
let's say
much. You
the
play as
beginning
Peter
of
a
Arkham
lot.
City. That's about it really for the
Yeah.
most part. Arkham Asylum, you don't see Bruce Wayne ever.
No, he's just in the mask the entire time.
Exactly, not even once. So like with that in Arkham Knight, you just see him without the cowl. I think maybe the one scene towards the end of the game, and that's it.
Yeah,
So
or
really,
the
who
scene with
cares?
Hush too.
Yeah, yeah. So in
But yeah,
Spider-Man, it's like you
you
just
play as
can't do
Peter
that.
a lot.
You play as Peter quite a bit. There's a lot of Peter in that game, which I agree there needs to be
I
because
love that. I love that about the game.
that's an important component. And honestly, that Spider-Man PS4 story is one of my favorite Spider-Man stories ever, dude. I think they
Hmm.
killed it in every possible way. The character development, the designs of all the characters, the whole world they built, the suits, and the way they're setting up this next game. I could not be more excited and intrigued for what they have in store for us in terms of the story. But with that said, the design is just not right for Peter, and changing it is just such a big mistake to me. I hope that it works out, and I ended up getting used to it, but I don't know if I will, honestly.
Yeah, he works as the new guy looks like they made like the new model looks like Peter Parker. It's just I I specifically got attached to that certain look for this specific universe. And you are just pulling the rug out from under me, and it kind of feels like one of the most unnecessary changes I've ever seen in my life. Now, if their excuse really is true that they had to do it to better improve the graphics, etc., the mocap performance, fine, but I just don't know if I'm buying it completely. I just don't. I just don't know if they're.
I don't know.
I mean, is there any way we could have kept the old guy? Because like
I
he
feel like
really.
there had to be a way. I just don't believe that there was no way they could have kept him. There's just too much technology at Sony's disposal where I can't see a scenario where they couldn't have found a way to keep the same dude. If anything, I feel like they just went for the more convenient route. And also, again, hey, I mean, we have this opportunity to make him look more like Tom Holland, so why not? Let's do our typical Sony thing and ruin everything.
The weird thing is they didn't even get Tom Holland, who is like 24, which is hilarious because that's how old Peter Parker is in the game. They didn't even get Tom Holland. They're just like, let's find the guy that looks just like exactly like him, just a little bit older, Tom Holland. Let's find that guy. And
Well,
then
to be fair,
they
they probably
actually
couldn't have
found
even
him.
got Tom Holland, but he's so freaking busy now, man. That
No,
dude
he's
is.
working with Sony right now. He's working on the Uncharted game, on
Well,
the
that's my
Uncharted
point.
movie.
Dude's busy as hell.
Yeah, so it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? It's like, it just felt so unnecessary. But I think we've said all we need to say about that.
Yeah.
I really hope that either A, they fix it, or B, they can make the new guy look just a little bit older, just like, because like he looks younger than Miles, which is
That's a huge problem for me. I said that I saw the one picture of Miles and right next to the new Peter design, and I was like, dude, it's supposed to be like a big brother, little brother type of feel with those two, but now Miles is the older brother with that look. It's so weird and unnatural.
it's
Like you
like,
have to make an
whoa.
adjustment there. That's just
Yeah,
not right.
yeah. I hope they can make the new guy look a little bit older, just
I
a
think
smidge.
they can do touch up on him still. But
Yeah,
maybe not for the upcoming release because they probably already have that pretty much made ready to be made because it's going to come out at launch, right, for the
yeah,
PS5. Yeah,
yeah.
so they definitely can't make that change, but could they make a change for maybe the next Spider-Man game? Yeah, I think they can at least do some touch up on the model there and do some little things to make him look more closer to the age the original one was. So hopefully that's what they
Yeah.
do, a look that does that character justice.
I'm just, I'm so disappointed, man. I'm disappointed. I feel terrible for the old guy, and I don't know. I don't know. That's just kind of, it's not a deal breaker. I mean, I'm not gonna be a little bitch about it. I
No,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
goddamn, it's still a phenomenal game and all that. It's just like, The only point I can make is that you get attached to a certain look, and then when the rug gets pulled out from under you, it's just like, what the hell just happened?
Hopefully, again, they fix it, but I think I've said everything I need to say on this, quite honestly.
Yeah, I think we've.
That was exhausting to discuss because it's
Yeah,
so annoying. It really does annoy the hell out of me, but whatever. I'll
yeah.
get over it. As
Is there
long as the
anything?
story's great, I'll be happy.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything? Oh, okay. You want to talk a little bit? They released the WandaVision trailer, and that looks pretty great, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very intrigued for sure. The trailer looked really awesome.
Especially now with the whole Spider-Man stuff.
Oh, totally. That makes me even more intrigued about WandaVision than ever because, the one thing I had with that I was a little bummed out about in general recently, I was thinking, all the slate of MCU movies coming out, you have Black Widow next. That's when did it get moved to? Is it May or is it June? I don't remember.
I don't even know
Let's say it's
anymore.
May or June. So that's going to be obviously set before Endgame and everything. So it's like, okay, well, that's going to have only a little bit to do with the future of everything. And then you go to Shang-Chi, and it's like, okay, well, this too. This is apparently set during the blip. So will we get some important stuff? Yes, but is it going to be what we really want right now? Probably not. And then you
Mm.
finally get to Eternals, and that's towards the end of the year of 2021, and it's like, oh, okay, even this. Although we're getting some definitely, I think that movie's gonna hold a lot of significant stuff towards the future of the MCU. It's still not gonna be quite the new stuff that we want, probably. Although I hope I'm
Mm.
wrong. I think it could be. But then afterwards, you finally get to Spider-Man 3 at the end of the year, assuming that sticks the same. And you
Bang.
get, yeah, and you get the big thing finally, and that leads into freaking Thor, and that'll lead into the freaking Doctor Strange movie, and those are 3 movies back to back to back. And if you even count Eternals, hopefully at least, if it is what I hope it is, you're thinking of 4 movies right there with huge significance in each of them that are going to be exactly what Marvel fans want. So really, the end of 2021 is what I'm really looking forward to. Although I'm obviously going to watch everything leading up to it as well.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm more excited for like the shows now than I am the
The
upcoming
upcoming
movie.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I feel the
yeah,
same because they hold more significance as a whole right now. Think about it, because WandaVision is going to directly impact the multiverse. That's what the whole premise of the show is. And then
hmm
you go into Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I mean, this is going to be our first look at the new Captain America, which I'm so excited about. And there's going to be obviously a lot of different things that go into this with the Thunderbolts potentially, which is what we've been hearing. So that's obviously intriguing as hell. And that's the one thing that I am excited about with Black Widow, seeing how they set that up during the movie. And
hmm
beyond that, Loki, the premise of that show sounds pretty freaking awesome, dude.
It does. It does.
I mean,
I
there's a lot they could do with Loki, and there's a lot of big characters they at least could introduce if they so desire to,
mm,
which excites the hell out of me.
yeah, and we're getting we got didn't even hit on this. We got a new casting. We got She-Hulk and we got Miss Marvel.
Yes, the Miss Marvel actor, Spider-Man 3 fan.
Yeah, her letterboxd is just hilarious. She seems awesome. I'm very happy for her. I don't know much about her, haven't seen much of her work, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing her in Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
And
this is her
yeah,
first big role in
yeah,
Hollywood, really. Before this, she's only done little things, but apparently she directed her own short film, which is pretty
that's
amazing for
impressive.
someone her age, of course. That's really awesome. I'm definitely excited. The vibe of her all around seems really awesome, and I think she's gonna be a really good Miss Marvel. So I am certainly excited for that TV show and what it's gonna bring to the table. And
hmm
you go to She-Hulk. I have not seen much of that actress, but I've heard she's really good from people I've
Yeah,
talked to. I've heard nothing but good things about her, so I'm definitely excited to see what she can do and how they decide to mix. Hopefully, I'm expecting at least Mark Ruffalo into that show. That's gonna be really cool.
yeah,
There's a lot of cool things they can do with She-Hulk for sure. In general, again, the TV shows, I am more excited about them than the more the recent movies that we've heard about that are going to be coming out early next year. So
yeah.
there's a lot that we're going to be seeing, and honestly, Loki might be able to jump. What's it called? the Captain America show and Falcon the Winter Soldier rather, because they need that to come out after Black Widow in all likelihood if they want to do it in the right continuity, which is what Kevin Feige is all about. So I don't see him really going out
Yeah.
of order. I don't think
Yeah,
he will.
I think Black Widow is in March now, scheduled for March.
Oh, is that? No, it's not that early, is it?
I think it was pretty early, something like that. I think
I'll check
more.
right now.
Yeah, I think it's March, and then then they'll probably release Falcon and the Winter Soldier like about a week or two after.
Ooh, not quite. It's May.
Oh wow, Jesus.
Yeah, you see that was my point, because right now we're heading at a slate where it's going to be a lot of stuff coming out in a very short span, because that's in May. I think Shang-Chi is I think it's July, so that's just 2 months after. Then few months later you're going to get Eternals. And after that, of course, you're going to get Spider-Man 3. So you're talking 4 movies in a span of April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. That's 10 months, right? No, not 10 months. Wait. Damn it, I counted wrong. I hate my life. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 8 months. Jesus. Okay.
Fair enough.
8 months, 4 movies. That's an average of a movie every 2 months, which is pretty awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Of course, and even the beginning of 2022, you have I forgot when Thor's coming out, but it's definitely before Doctor Strange now, I
I
think.
think like February.
Yeah, and then March, that's literally a month later. That's Doctor Strange. So you're talking, dude, between December and March, you're gonna get 3 MCU movies right now. That's crazy. That's
Jesus.
A lot of stuff is gonna be coming out all at once. So once we hit May, I don't think they're gonna delay this movie again. Regardless, I really don't. So unless shit really hits the bed and we're back in to square one with the virus, which I don't think will happen. Let's pray it doesn't, but not for that reason, of course, but just for everything, all the pain it's caused. But regardless, let's hope for the best.
if the virus hadn't hit, we'd be getting prepared to see Venom 2 by now.
That came out today, I think.
Oh, why do you have to hurt me?
I could have swore I read Venom 2 was supposed to come out today, actually, which is pretty fun.
Oh, man. You had to hurt me. Like, we would have seen Morbius on July 31st as well. And, you just had to hurt me. You had to do it.
We would have been prepping right now for, I'm trying to think, what would have been coming out right now? Next, Eternals? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. Damn it. That sucks. Because I've been saying for so long, like, even before the virus hit, okay, no, I'm excited for Eternals, but I'm excited for what comes after. So once we get past, the end of 2020, we'll be into the real good stuff. But now it's, okay, let's get to the end of 2021, and then we can get the real good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what the
crap?
Just can we, like, simulate our lives? Can we just hit the sim button here?
2020 really is the blip year.
I mean, my God. What an unfortunate year. Let's not do this again.
Yeah, I'd rather not. I'm not a fan of it.
Like forever. Let's avoid pandemics forever.
Please do.
Just my God. Is there anything else you want to hit on, my friend?
Not for this particular episode. We'll definitely have a lot of other episodes where we discuss a multitude of things. We'll do our movie reviews. We can discuss obviously DC stuff as well, because I definitely would love a full episode on everything we know so far about the Batman. I mean, we can go on for freaking hours about that. There's so much to talk about, but yeah, we'll definitely have a lot of stuff planned. I'm looking forward to the future of this show, man. I'm pumped. I enjoyed talking to you about all this.
Yeah, I mean, the future of the show is just we get to talk about anything we want, really. That's the entire point of the show. We get to talk about all the latest news, can do reviews, can do all that kind of stuff, and very much looking forward to that. And can't wait for next episode already. And we haven't even finished the first one.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about what we're doing next. Maybe we'll have a review in our future. Perhaps Sam Raimi trilogy. We'll see. We'll see how we're feeling. We have a lot of ideas, so I guess we'll call it here, man. This has been good, and until next time, I bid you adieu.
Peace out, everyone.
See ya.